Welcome guys, thank you so much for joining in. So since the price of Bitcoin found support at this 50 weekly moving average along with this rising trend line, and yesterday I added another strong support from this falling trend line which previously acted as a resistance, and you can see exactly after approaching this price range we found a support, and now we are hovering between this 50 to 51,000 price area. So what does this actually mean here in the immediate short term, and also what kind of scenario could be unfolding next? So if you start this in a weekly time frame, we can see very clearly guys, the price of Bitcoin did had a very strong support around this 47 to 48,000 range. We got a bounce, and now the question here is the trend of Bitcoin ready for this next impulsive movement, just like here from the past Bitcoin price action? Because I saw many people talking about this falling trend line, just like what I showed on my yesterday's video. Because according to this falling trend line, you can also look this as a bump and run reversal bottom, because this here, right, is the bump, and now this could be the retest of this previous temporary rates line before price again starts moving here to the upper direction. Why? Because in the past Bitcoin price action, you can see a similar scenario also happen here. Resistance, resistance. This falling trend line was a strong line of resistance. We break out of it. We even came back to retest it. We can see here, retest it, and then started this new move here to the upper direction. And in our case, guys, in our case, we are unfolding another similar scenario. The falling trend line, which previously acted as a strong line of resistance, is being retested. And now, if we do find a proper support above this falling trend line, above this 50 weekly moving average, and also the rising trend line, then maybe the price of Bitcoin is ready for this next movement here to the upper direction. And not just only this one here, if you have also watched my video, you know I have talked about this dead cat bounce scenario many times. But in our case, if we look at this weekly time frame, and also if the price of Bitcoin is showing an actual reversal here in this manner, then the dead cat bounce scenario must be invalid first. I mean, if you take this Fibonacci retracement from this swing high till this swing low area, right, you can see the 0.5 and the 0.618 line is very important for us, because according to the dead cat bounce, you can see price usually retrace around this 0.5 to 0.618 and then again start this downward price movement. And exactly if you look in our case, you can see the weekly resistance line is lying around 55,500 and 58,700. So this two line could also be indicating maybe here in a weekly time frame we could be approaching around this 55,000 to 58,000 in an upcoming days for Bitcoin. But we are aware guys, to see this actual movement happening here to the upside around this 58,000 right now, the daily must break out of this important line of resistance that is holding the price around this 51 to 52,000 price range. Let me show you that. So guys, now if we look at this in a daily time frame for Bitcoin, you know we have talked about this accumulation cylinder from Jesse Livermore, because according to the Jesse Livermore accumulation cylinder, price around this 0.7 usually finds support before continue this rally here to the upper direction. And in our case, we said, hey, around this 0.7 is where we might be getting gravitated and also finding support. Since the price of Bitcoin broke the support line, came lower, many were asking me, hey Anup, is this accumulation cylinder now invalid? But if you look at this here guys, I want to show you one thing. If you look at this price movement, this is still higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern. This pullback what we witness is still higher than the previous low. So that's why I'm still sticking into this accumulation cylinder from Jesse Livermore. But we are aware right now the same line which previously acted as a support could be acting as a resistance exactly around this 51 to 52,000 price range. So in a daily time frame, what we want the price of Bitcoin to do is to break this resistance and find support above this 52,000 area. If we do that, then maybe the price of Bitcoin is again going to follow this accumulation cylinder from Jesse Livermore. And not just only because of this Jesse Livermore, which is showing us that if we break the resistance around this 51, 52,000 and find support above it, we could be expecting further price movement here to the upper direction. If you also look at this one here, you know we have talked about this falling wedge scenario so many times in our videos. Even the support that was supposed to hold the price got broken here, because we can see here this line, the lower line area of this falling wedge was a strong line of support, right? You can see plenty of time this line was tested and price also held it. But in our case, we broke below it, and now the same line which previously acted as a support could be acting as a resistance around this 51 to 52,000 price area. So that's why I said you, along with this lower line area of this accumulation cylinder, which previously acted as a support, could be acting as a resistance between this 51 to 52,000 price range for Bitcoin. And now you can see the lower line area of this falling wedge is also going to act as a resistance. And not just only this one here, we also have another strong resistance from this head and shoulder. I mean, the price of Bitcoin, if you look at this past Bitcoin price action, you can see as soon as we broke out of the neckline area, we started this new downtrend, because according to the head and shoulder, the price target was somewhere around this 33,000. We came a bit lower, right, but found support and then started this new move here to the upside. And in our case, you can see we broke the neckline. We also came towards the price target, which was around 40,000, 41,000, right? And now we are seeing this price movement here to the upper direction. So just like with the previous example, the falling wedge and also the lower line area of this accumulation cylinder, this neckline is going to be another strong resistance for Bitcoin. So you can see the line which previously acted as support, the neckline, could be acting as a resistance. So that's why right now around this 51, 52,000, this is the reason why we are getting strong rejection. But if we do break this resistance and flip it into support around this 51, 52,000, then I'm actually expecting this relief rally to continue here to the upper direction, because according to this in a weekly time frame, as you can see, 55 to 58,000 is where we could be getting gravitated. So please do not forget that. But in a smaller time frame, right, I showed you this in a weekly time frame, also in a daily time frame. But if we look at this in a smaller time frame, let me show you another interesting scenario that could be playing out for Bitcoin. Now, before I switch into other chart, I just want to make you aware, Bybit and Femex both are providing around $4,100 bonus each. I mean, the total of $8,200 bonus is being provided for our community members. So if you are an experienced trader and want to take advantage of this market volatility, then this is the great opportunity, because Bybit, as you can see, is providing around $4,100 bonus if you use my ref link and sign up, which is going to take you not more than a minute, and also with Femex. So I personally use Bybit for trading, and if you want to trade altcoins, then Femex could be a great option as well. Now let's switch into other chart. So guys, now if we look at this price action of Bitcoin in a 4-hour time frame, I want to show you one very interesting scenario here. According to this descending broadening wedge, as you can see, the lower line was a strong line of support, upper line was a strong line of resistance. But in our case, we said if this here is going to be a relief rally type of scenario, then in a smaller time frame, the price of Bitcoin must break out of this resistance line, the resistance from this 0.5 Fibonacci line and 0.61 line, that is between this 52,000 price area. And now you can see another resistance between this 50 to 52,000, also resistance from the neckline area of this head and shoulder, another resistance from this falling wedge, right? And also this one here, the accumulation cylinder, previous temporary support line, the lower line area, which is going to be a strong line of resistance around this 51 to 52,000. So now, since the price of Bitcoin in a smaller time frame has broken out of this 0.5, so if we also, right, find support above this 0.618 around 52,400, 52,000 area, right, then this dead cat bounce scenario is going to be invalid here in a smaller time frame, and price of Bitcoin could be heading towards this higher area, which could also potentially lead into another impulsive movement here to the upper direction, because we are aware breaking this 51, 52,000 resistance indicate the price could be heading towards this 55 to 58,000 range here in upcoming days for Bitcoin. And if we do see price retracement, then again this lower line area, which is around 48,000, and also the 50,000 could be a strong line of support here in the immediate short term for Bitcoin. So guys, these are some of the scenarios I thought sharing with you in today's episode. If you enjoyed my work, then please hit the like button, and for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit the subscribe button and the bell. So by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye guys.